A. Lehman Stadium at Cooper High School here for boys soccer action. It's the season opener tonight for the Hawks as they host the Heritage Christian Academy Eagles. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Brad Carlson, the former Orono coach. And boy, after you work and get all set, pick your teams and have a couple weeks of practices, there's nothing like the opening night here, and we've got a great night for it, it looks like.
We got a great night for soccer. It'll be a great opening night for both teams. I look for Cooper tonight, Coach Opel. He's got a lot of seniors on that club. So I look for those guys to step it up and play a really tough brand of soccer.
And the Heritage Eagles last year won their conference. Have won it the last couple of years in the Minnesota Christian Athletic Association. But I think this is, for both of these clubs, has been a good matchup and a way to start the season. For Heritage, you're playing a bigger school and a school from a different conference. And last year was a 1-1 tie. It was real competitive, and that's what you like to see when you get the season started.
It's a great way to start the season. A non-conference match, again, two good clubs. Both of them have a lot of seniors on the club, and they're going to come out and be ready to play tonight.
Cooper coming off a season where they didn't win a ton of games, but there was definitely progress made. They won 3 games in their conference and looking to kind of inch that up a little bit more and more forward, and they try and get started tonight against a good Heritage club. Meanwhile, the Eagles are looking for another good, strong season like they've had the last couple of years, and they hope to get it started on the road. They also get a chance to play here on this turf field, which is something that they don't always get a chance to do so much of in their conference, and they're looking forward to that opportunity as well. Stay tuned. It is the Battle of the Birds here tonight. Heritage Christian Eagles and the Cooper Hawks, and it comes your way next here on 12 Sports.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winnicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
Barbara A. Lehman Stadium. Welcome back to Cooper's Barbara Lehman Stadium as Heritage and Cooper get set to start it out here tonight. Cooper's in the white with navy blue shorts and Heritage in the visiting blue. And one sad note tonight that Heritage coach Chris Laird not with us this evening because of a death in the family. So his assistant Jake Archbold will be running the show this evening for the Eagles. And Chris has been a veteran guy that's been around for a long time and done a nice job with this program. He's also the athletic director at Heritage Christian as well.
Chris is a soccer guy. He loves soccer. He breathes soccer. He's done a wonderful job with Heritage, and every place he's coached, he's done a great job. He's pretty much a legend in the soccer community around the state of Minnesota.
Brett Yanero is in goal for Heritage and Chris Vargas for Cooper, and we're underway. A quick turnover forced here by Heritage. They look to possess here, and they'll work it back to Michael Westling. Westling, a good pass on target there, but doubled up, so they'll have to restart here. Back to Miguel Holguin, one of the captains. I'm guessing the sun's going to be a little bit of a factor in the first half for the keepers, potentially, or the one keeper anyway. You can see him shielding his eyes out there already, the Heritage keeper Yanero, so watch for that on any balls up in the air, but otherwise a perfect night here. Throw in coming here for the Hawks by Kuya Seon. Got some guys who are real creative with the ball, some returning and some newcomers. the Hawks program here. Almost a handball, but ruled inadvertent. Battle in the air for it here. It'll be Cooper's throw.
Looks like Cooper's coming out with 2 forwards, 4 midfielders, 4 fullbacks. Fullbacks are playing in a sweeper-stopper style.
Jab loose before they could get a look at the goal there, but now it's going to be an offside call here on the Hawks out on that far side. The left wing up front there. A little bit ahead was, for the Hawks, was Ben Czar.
And it looks like Heritage is countering with 4-3-3. So that extra forward's going to apply some pressure to Cooper.
Couple of nice moves in traffic there by Barney Colsoire. And let's see, does he draw a corner out of this? He sure does. The ball was getting away from him there, and that was the best he could hope for at that point, and he was able to knock it off the defender. So first corner of the match coming up here for the Hawks.
Oh, I like what Heritage is doing here. They've got kind of a zone, or almost like a combination zone, man-to-man. They're really bunching them up in the box.
And the header try there will go wide, so goal kick upcoming here for Heritage.
Very nicely defensed by Heritage.
Brett Yanero, a junior, in goal here for the Eagles, putting his foot to that one and onto the foot of Ethan Peterson, one of their captains. They'll work it back. Ooh, a little dangerous there, but confidently playing that ball in short space there.
Very nice.
Handball call here going against Cooper, and it will be a free kick for the Eagles. Cooper has another home game right after this, Friday night the 23rd, as Hibbing will be down to, I have to confess I didn't even realize Hibbing had soccer, but they'll be down here to play Cooper. Just a step away from getting a look at the net there was Nick Wilson, who had a good year last year for Heritage, but ball got away from him. Here come the Hawks with Sion playing it up the left side here now for Ben Czar. Czar cut off, but then he gets it back, puts it out front just a little high. And that shot off a defender and pinballs around. It'll be another corner kick upcoming for Cooper. And that was some scary moments there for Yanero, as this one, you see it gets through and then back, and this follow-up.
Stuckey made the save. That one was earmarked for the upper 90.
Clarence Ondecky getting a good shot there. And it would have been a real tough one for the keeper to stop if it wasn't blocked by his defender. Now will be a goal kick coming as that one rolls over the top. So Cooper's kind of had the better of the play early on here. We've only played about 4.5 minutes, but most of it's been in the Heritage end of the field.
Cooper's going to play a very up-tempo, high-pressure type of game. Try to limit the touches that Heritage has.
Holgan sending it up. Quickly a turnover force, though. And taken right back, though. Stuckey, now a nice ball played there by Nick Wilson. Into the middle to Tanner Tripp. Got through the first wave there, but then broken up and then retaken back. Hawks come away with it here with Sion. Dropped it over there for Leroy Kellon. Broken up and sent up, but it'll be picked off by Eric Gomez-Mendez for the Hawks. A lot of turnovers back and forth. Uh-oh, here's a miscue and an opportunity. Tyler Furry walking in. Partial breakaway, fakes now to the middle with the left foot, and he hits the defender with it. Bounces back, still a little bit dangerous here. Furry coming back to get it, and now chips it over the net. Great opportunity after some miscommunication for Cooper. Basically led to a partial breakaway here for Furry.
Yeah, Furry's going to dream about this one tonight. Nice cut back behind the defender and then just hit it right into him. I
think he was so surprised to be that far open. You maybe overthink it just a little bit.
Well, when you play with 3 forwards, it really forces the defense to stay back. You got to keep 4 guys back.
So after Cooper had the better of it early, Heritage getting really the best chance of the game right there, but Cooper able to scramble back into position and help out their keeper, Chris Vargas. Chris, a junior there, and much like at the other end, he didn't end up having to make the save because the defender got there. Nice ball again, and Heritage on the run. Oh, it was offside.
Yeah, offside.
Yep. Took a second before the officials acknowledged the flag out there, so I thought for a moment that maybe it was not, but Tyler Furry trying to get a step on the defender there. So free kick here for Cooper's Eric Gomez-Mendez. Into the middle there, Matthew Lauman, who's been coming off a little bit of an injury, did not participate in the Hawks scrimmage against Minnetonka the other day, and asked Cameron Opel, how did it go against Minnetonka, and he said, well, we did some good things, but Minnetonka's a good squad, but he was glad to get that test against a team like that. And he said, and also the thing you kind of like to see is your keeper to face some balls, in which they certainly did in that one. So that's a good thing. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything in a scrimmage to play somebody that's a real strong club like that. It can just help make you better.
Gomez-Mendez just went into showtime there with the bike.
Back and forth with the headers here, and play it out wide there. Tyler Ashworth, I think, thought about using his keeper there, but was a little unsure, so he didn't want to take any chances, know exactly what was right behind him, so he's going to send it out, and a throw coming here for the Hawks. Clarence Ondicki will put this one back in play here for Cooper.
Yeah, it was a safe play. Take the pressure off, let you get organized in the back again.
Nice little passing play there for the Hawks. Evan Dale, left-footed pass. It just didn't quite connect, but that's the type of movement you like to see.
That was very well conceived. Nice little give and go.
Turnover here, though, as Westling controlling it, gets it ahead to Tanner Tripp.
Oh, yeah.
He'll send it long, and here goes Furry again. This one is onside. Here's his shot, and it rolls just wide.
That's why you like to play 3 forwards, is forwards get isolated on fullback. I'm sure Coach Opel will have some discussions with his fullbacks about how to cover that.
Yeah, they've gotten away with it a couple times, but you don't want to give up that many good opportunities.
No.
Cleared out of play here. It'll be a throw coming for Cooper. Trigger it quickly back in. Barney Cole Soare then has it taken by Stuckey. Tried to get it back, and then Andrew Engstrom clears it out of play here for Heritage. So a throw coming up here for Cooper's Evan Dale. Played 9.5 minutes here in this first half. No score on the board. Cooper's in white, Heritage in the royal blue in the season opener for both teams here on 12 Sports. Yanero grabbing it up. Not a lot of wind to deal with here this evening at all.
It's a gorgeous night for soccer. Kids love it.
Yeah, earlier in the week it was warm enough that it would have been more of a concern. Actually, by the time this one rolled around for Thursday, it's not too bad at all. Knocked back loose, and the Hawks will try and relieve the pressure by playing it out to the left there.
Ondicki was just explosive coming through the center mid there for Heritage.
Taken back away now. Here's Hogan controlling.
Oh,
looking
nice.
for a return, but just out front of him a little bit. He just hesitated a little. I don't think they were exactly on the same page on that one, but good setup nonetheless for Heritage.
Yes, but here we are 10 minutes into the season, and we just saw a fullback overlap. That is something to be proud of, I don't mind telling you.
Cullen Vorhall coming in here for Cooper. Quick explanation. What is that for the fans out there who aren't as in depth with soccer?
Well, the ball was played up to the forward, and let's see, that was Holgan made an overlapping run, which means he came from his fullback position all the way up top and ran past the forward and was looking for a little give and go there. Unfortunately, the ball was just struck a little too hard. Too much pace.
Back and forth with the headers here, and obviously we've seen more and more high schools switching to artificial turf. How big of a difference is it to play on?
It's really fun. The kids love it. It's you get all you get is true bounces. The game's pretty fast, so they have to learn in a hurry to take a little pace off the ball, like you just saw on that overlap. Just the pace was a little too much.
I think the playability of the newer turf has gotten so much better than when you used to see it. I remember watching games in the Metrodome, and it was like a super ball bouncing down the field, and you know, there were times when you thought, wow, it's just, even though people are getting used to it a little more, it was tough to control the ball, where I think these new surfaces are much better in that regard.
Oh yeah, back in the early dome days, it was like cement with carpet on it.
Yeah,
outdoor carpet on it. This is a lot softer. It's a little easier on the players. Most schools are having artificial turf now, so.
And an injury here as a Cooper player goes down.
I guess he wasn't injured too badly.
Maybe a foul call there. Yeah, he definitely got into him with the trip, though, and sent him sprawling. Osseo. So a good call there. It's been a clean game so far, certainly here.
Oh, yeah. Clean, but well contested. Both teams are doing a nice job of closing down.
Osseo Roberts sending it into the middle there. Warhol just came in and had that one knocked away. Eagle looking to quickly counter, but pass doesn't get there as Roberts takes it. Roberts held up a little bit, and he was trying to draw that call, and he did ultimately, but he kind of gave up on that one pretty quickly there. He was fortunate that the whistle sounded.
That's going to cost him if he continues to look for that call. Heritage had a 4-on-2 advantage there. If he didn't get the call, it was going to be trouble.
Played outside. Nice job to track it down by Nick Wilson, and then they go up the line with it. Gomez Mendez, one of those returning guys that they're looking for good things from this year for Cooper. Played out to the outside here. Roberts going to watch that one bounce. It'll be a throw coming for the Hawks. About 26 minutes and change to go here in this first half, and no score on the board. Cooper and Heritage. The Cooper girls beat the Heritage girls 3-zip in the first of our doubleheader tonight. The throw coming up here for the Eagles.
Well, if you haven't played or practiced against a team that comes at you with 3 forwards and 3 midfielders, it can cause some trouble for you in the back. And you can see where Heritage is created. Oh, there's another one. Really nice opportunities.
Bounces out front. Vargas is shaken up as he collided with the player up front, Nick Wilson. And Vargas goes down. This was a nice pass, and we're going to have an injury stoppage here. Wilson, inadvertent. I mean, he's trying to play that ball in, and I'm not so sure it wasn't mostly the ball that hit him there. He might have gotten this shot right in the face. Yeah, I don't really think he was kicked. I think it was more the ball.
Yeah, that was just a good play by both players, both going for the ball.
And it almost looked like he was reaching back and holding his back a little bit. Like maybe it wasn't the contact with the ball up high so much as that he got himself into an awkward position and twisted. See if we can see it again here. Yeah, it certainly appeared to me that just the shot got him point blank in the face, but then he lands a little awkwardly. That could be.
Well, he might have caught a knee there on the side too.
Yeah.
As he was going for Wilson was going for the ball.
Yeah, a couple of Cooper players kind of asking about it, but I thought that was, about as clean of an attempt by a forward as you're ever going to get. He played the ball. There's no doubt. It might have made a little contact too with Chris, but certainly nothing out of line there by any means. On the right there in the white shirt is Cameron Opal, the Hawks coach, is a guy that I know you have a little bit of a background with, Brad, from when he was kind of doing his student teaching, it sounds like.
Yeah, correct. He did his student teaching at Orono High School, and as soon as I found out we had a student teacher who was a soccer player and a coach, I went and introduced myself, and Cameron came out and helped us for that whole season. He was a great help. And he's a good man.
Product of Apple Valley, which obviously doesn't get a lot more, a lot better than that in terms of a high school program to come out of, too.
No, and he won a state tournament when he was in high school. He knows what it's like to get to the big dance, and I know that that's what he wants for his program here, too.
Looks like Vargas is going to be attempting to stay in the match here.
I think they may substitute him, may be forced to substitute him because of the because of having to call timeout to check him out.
Yeah, I think you're right. If it's his back or his side, hard to say if this little jog to the side will be good or bad for him. It might actually help kind of get him stretched out a little bit. Nick Winter is going to come in for him. There's a look at Nick.
Looks like Cooper has 2 junior goalkeepers battling for the same spot. That's a good position to be in, I tell you.
That'll be interesting to see. They'll probably talk with Chris a little bit, and you possibly say, well, let's leave Nick for a little bit here, or maybe they'll send him right back if he's feeling good enough. Yeah, I get the feeling that it's more like he wrenched his back or side, landing awkwardly than more so than taking contact from it.
Okay, there was the restart, and the referee he needed to restart with a drop ball, but he was very good about giving direction to the players to let the keeper have the ball.
Throw in coming here for Heritage as they've come on in the last few minutes after Cooper had a lot of possession time early. Comes bouncing out front, a little indecision defensively there, but then a recovery and Matt Lauman getting to it for the Hawks. It'll be Heritage's throw though. Vargas is standing there, but see if he is going to come immediately right back in or not.
He can't come in on a Heritage
on this
throw.
one, obviously, but right.
Yep. Unless Heritage was subbing, then he could come in.
Ooh, nice pass there back for Tanner Scott. Scott playing it to the middle. Opportunity out front. And a shot just wide from Ethan Peterson as Winter didn't actually end up having to make a save, but he sure looked like he was in the middle of the action there. And now Winter, after that little flurry, is going to check out. As Vargas well enough to come back in there. You see the shot. He did not get it on goal. Heritage is... they've had a little trouble with accuracy because really they've had probably at least 3 good opportunities so far here. They just only one of them's really been on net though.
Well, there again, it's that 3 forwards are tying up their fullbacks, and then when your midfield gets active, they've got a couple of very nice attacking midfielders. If the center mids from Cooper don't mark back, it's really going to create some trouble in the back.
Gomez Mendez hustling over to get that one for Cooper, and it goes out of play though. A throw here for Heritage. And that one nearly picked off. As soon as that one was halfway in the air, I know they were thinking, whoops, this was a little too close for comfort here when you're triggering it in like that, but taken away and then sent back out. Another throw coming here for Heritage. They look to the corner with it. Tough one to control though. And it'll be a goal kick upcoming here.
So I would bet Coach Opal is going to have a nice conversation with his outside mids about being too far forward and not getting back. And he's going to have a nice conversation with his fullbacks.
Gomez Mendez sending it ahead. They'll play it to the outside here. Sam Boku is in there now, number 2 for the Hawks. Battle for it here, and it'll be Cooper's throw. He wanted to capitalize in a hurry, but kind of ended up rushing that throw in right into the middle of everyone. And a little shaken up there is Barney Cole-Soare. I think he might have turned an ankle a little bit. See if we can see what happens to him here. Yeah, he got stepped on and there he landed on the foot awkwardly.
Mm-hmm.
Turned that ankle as he landed. And whether it be soccer or football or basketball, you know what that feels like, because it happens in those sports in particular. It's common to have that happen. The little kick that he took or getting stepped on wasn't really what did the damage. It was when he hopped up in the air and then landed and his ankle rolled as he planted that foot. It looks as though it's not terribly serious, but he'll step off for a while and probably hope to get kind of right back in there, because usually that's one that'll stiffen up on you a little bit if you sit too much. Throw in here for Osseo for the Hawks. And they're going to have him redo it here. I don't think the injured player was all the way off the field yet, so they get things settled down again and go. Header flicked out front. Covering up there was Riley Stuckey. And now some room to work with up that sideline here. 2-on-2. Ooh, Gomez Mendez, that was either a real good gamble or he got a little lucky there as he went down. I don't think he necessarily went down on purpose, but ended up making a pretty good sliding tackle.
Well, Gomez Mendez was all-conference honorable mention last year as a junior, and you could see why there. He was trying to hold the line, keeping him off sides, and when Heritage didn't bite, he stepped right up and won the ball.
And he was tripped up, so that foul call going against the Eagles. We will get a throw here for Cooper. Hawks control it in the middle there with Vorhall. Gets it over now to Emmanuel Balagan. And here is Samboku controlling up that right side for the Hawks. And Stuckey hammers that one out of play, but Cooper will get a quick throw. Samboku lining it up.
One of the hardest things to do in high school soccer is to use the width of the field, and when you're playing on all these artificial turf fields, there's great width. It's not like playing on the old football fields of yesteryear. So you really have to train your outside mids in particular to keep the width. Get way outside where that touch line is.
That's something that I think can be a little bit of an overlooked thing is spacing, really. You know, with correct depth, when you make your run, timing and spacing, I guess, go hand in hand on plays like that.
Yep, you are correct.
Knocked loose, and the Hawks get control again here. Benzar battling with Stuckey, both number 17s there, and Stuckey able to break it up, but it will be Cooper's throw. Boku, they weren't quite on the same page there as he thought. Alan Borhall was going a different way there on that one, so goes right to the keeper, Brett Yanero.
Well, there is no offsides on a throw-in, so if you can play it behind the defense and get behind them, it's a heck of a nice play.
Volleyed into the air here now. Getting control is Wilson. Ooh, and then he goes down hard over the top of the defender. It's going to be a call against Heritage as Wilson. He ends up shaking up. He got there, well, they got there about the same time. There was plenty of contact, but I'm not sure. It was hard to say a call either way, I think, on that one, but.
I don't think I'll count it.
Played up the line here. Tanner Scott. That cross knocked away. Good recovery defensively for the Hawks. Arhol getting in ahead now. Benzar trapping it down, trying to get a step up that sideline. Nice ball there to Boku, and then he returns it.
Nice little give and go there.
And that one badly mishit by Czar as he tried to cross it. Instead, side of his ankle and drilled it out of play.
Lazar is one of the players that Cooper's counting on to really fill a need for them. He's a new player to the club. Just by the touches he's had here, it looks like he's really good on the ball.
Ethan Peterson waiting for this one, and dropping it back now for Scott. Battle in the air. This call is going to go against Cooper as Sion was leaning in as they both went up for that one. And it looked like correctly called. They both end up a little bit shaken up though on this one.
And the good news is he went up and got the ball. Bad news is
I think he could kind of sense some contact coming, so he really put his arm out a little bit. So free kick coming up here for Heritage as they try and break a deadlock here, 0-0. Have had actually some pretty good chances. Cooper had one pretty early and Heritage has had a couple.
Cooper's got a nice wall set. They're holding the 18, giving their keeper a lot of space.
Oops, Heritage.
And that was a set piece that Heritage has been working on and just didn't execute.
Throw in coming up here for the Eagles as they try and go back. They had the better of the play for a little while, and now it's kind of switched back to being pretty even. We've had each team kind of have their moments of control here. Cooper very early, Heritage in the middle part. Now comes loose out front.
Heritage really throws numbers forward when they get in the attacking half of the field.
And here's a shot attempt. It skips off a defender and wide. It'll be a corner kick upcoming here for Heritage. As got a look at the net anyway there and knocked away, but the throw or the corner kick coming here. Chip far post and ball still loose. Here's a shot. That one deflects and then another one. Vargas, making a big stop on that one. That turned into a great opportunity for Heritage's Wilson.
Nicely conceived corner kick to the far post there, created all the trouble. Then it got her back into the center and had a nice hit on goal.
Yeah, we said earlier they've had a little problem with accuracy when trying to finish, and that time though they got a clean look at it. The good news for Vargas is there wasn't much of an angle to shoot at because he was so close to the shooter. And we'll get a call going here against Heritage. A little verbal warning, no card I don't think. Well, no, I'm wrong. It's going to be a yellow card on Tripp as we get a look at that last opportunity that developed off the corner and bounces free. Wow, Vargas had to make a real nice save there.
Nick Wilson did a good job of keeping the ball down low, hit it, struck it nicely with the inside of his foot. Good technique.
So Tanner Tripp getting that yellow card for Heritage. He'll be replaced by David Wetterstrom, number 4. Cole Soiree coming back in for Cooper now. After turning his ankle a little bit earlier, he replaces Andrew Fitzsimmons, so good to see him back out there. That one's going to bounce all the way through to the keeper, Yanero. Good news for Yanero, or both keepers now, is that the sun is now obscured completely, so we're all in shade now, so no worries anymore about losing one up in the sun. Funny how even though the high school soccer season isn't that long, but you go from a lot of times those first games being 90 degrees to maybe snowing at the end. It's amazing the transformation we go through in that short amount of time.
That's the beauty of the game.
Of course, this will be the last year for state championships in the Metrodome. I'll have to be outdoors for a couple of years and be interesting to see how that goes. Sometimes it might be just fine, and other times, well, you never know. We've had some snow for section games or state quarterfinals or awful cold nights too. Pass knocked away. It'll be a throw coming up here for Heritage. 14 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the first half, and no score on the board. Heritage and Cooper, their season openers for 2013. And thanks for joining us here on 12 Sports. Soccer fans, we've got another one coming up right away Friday, an afternoon game, a rare Friday afternoon game as the Park Center girls visit Armstrong. So watch that one at 1 o'clock Friday on the web, or else Saturday evening on Channel 12 as those teams get right into conference play in the Northwest Suburban. Throw coming here for Cooper. Knocked high in the air here and struggling to control that bouncing ball. It'll be a throw coming for Cooper. And I get the feeling that the pace has slowed a little bit, and maybe these teams starting to hit that wall a little bit and getting a little bit fatigued here late in the first half.
Yeah, this is their first 40 minutes of varsity soccer for a lot of these kids, so it's a good taste. But yeah, they're going to wear down a little bit here.
Unable to get control of that one is Hogan on that long throw, so it results in a corner kick here for Cooper.
Oftentimes these are when goals happen, is not in necessarily the 30 minutes of the game, but a lot happens in the first 5 minutes of a half and the last 5 minutes of a half.
Barney Cole-Soiree getting set to take this corner here for the Hawks. Their third of the match.
Hitting it with his right foot. It's an in-swinger going towards the net. Bends it nicely to the near post.
Comes back out toward him, but control gained there by Wilson, but then that quick turnover forced. And volleyed high toward the side of the net, and it's going to bounce just wide there. Yanero was about to grab that one and realized it was just going to bounce wide anyway. So Hogan will put this one in play here for the Eagles.
During the yellow card, I saw Coach Opal call over Gomez Mendez and had a little chat with them. And you can tell that Cooper's got their backs organized a little better now. They got better numbers in the back and going to make it a little tougher for Heritage to get more numbers up in the attack.
And I think certainly the fact that it's this early and that it's a non-conference game too, I doubt you really do much of any real preparation for this particular opponent. It's more about getting your team set and everything. So I mean, even last week in the preseason, Vikings were talking about that. Well, we don't do any real prep for that team yet, and I'm sure that's probably the case for these teams too.
This may shock you, but most soccer, there's very little or no prep for the team that you're going to play.
Is that right?
Well, you don't have time. You're
right.
Playing 3 games a week. You're probably trying to give the kids Fridays off so they can be with their friends and go to the football game. And most of your practice time is spent on trying to iron out the areas of concern for your team, not so much thinking about what the other team's going to do to you.
Battle for it in alongside the net here, and going to be a corner kick upcoming for Heritage. And Gomez Mendez got tripped up after the ball had gone out a little bit, so he wasn't particularly happy with that development. They're going to go short with the corner and then look to attack. Cooper was a little slow to get out there, and the header goes wide by Hogan.
Nice quick corner attack by Heritage there.
Yeah, Cooper was, you're kind of walking, getting in position, all of a sudden the ball's in play.
We got one player down there straightening his socks, another player walking back to the far post, and all of a sudden the ball's in play.
That's good heads-up play to just go with that attack quickly there. Hawks getting control here now with Leroy Kellen.
And they showed some nice ball movement there.
Barney Cole-Soiree controlling. Put it out front there, broken up by Mark Franz, who's in there, number 16 now for Heritage. It'll be a throw, though, for Cooper.
You can see with Cooper's attack, there's quite a big gap starting to form between their fullback lines and their midfielders and forwards. Their midfielders are pushing up a little too much. It's not giving them enough support in the back.
Clarence Ondecki will come back into the lineup here for Cooper. Under 9 minutes to go here in this first half and no score on the board.
That was a nice deep throw in.
And got it right to the foot of Barney Colswari. Now out front on the cross. Ball still dangerous there. Now recovered in a shot. Just wide up the left foot of Ondecki there. Right idea. There was not much chance Gennaro was going to get that one if it had slipped inside the post, but it went just wide.
That was a nice set piece that they just ran there with that good long throw in right to the teammate's feet. Played it back for the cross.
See, it wasn't really in doubt that that one was going to go in, but not wide by all that much. Now Hawks getting control, and we're going to get a foul call there as tripped up pretty heavily was Ondecki. Eagles have been the more physical team here. 6 fouls on them and only 1 on Cooper. So an opportunity here for set play for the Hawks. Trying to break this deadlock. And he sails it up and over the top.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad thought, though, to take a shot from that place.
I'm sure it's different a little bit for every team or every coach, but how much do you work on actually just taking shots or shooting the ball early in the spring or fall season?
Actually, the coaches, the teams that I coached would spend a half hour a day on just set pieces. And we would play games that had, if we were working on direct kicks like that, we would play half-field games that just, whenever we blew the whistle, it was a set piece. It was forming the wall and taking the crack. So that's what you do, because when you get down into October, what wins games is usually set pieces.
Yeah, exactly. Played ahead here all alone for the moment is Engstrom, so he's going to turn and play that one out. Not many good options there other than what he did. Sambuca will trigger it in here for Cooper as they've kind of taken the momentum back here late in this first half like they had in the very early going.
Now back to your question, with only 9 practices with a couple of scrimmages in there, you haven't worked on them very much yet. Matter of fact, you're lucky if you just run through them a few times.
Pass broken up, second try also knocked away. Riley Stuckey back there defensively. Wetterstrom sending it over. Good hustle by Boku, freeing that one up. Benzar, though, not able to get it on target.
Cooper's picked up the pace and picked up the pressure nicely here these last few minutes.
Substitutions now as Tanner Tripp, who got that yellow card a few moments ago, will come back into the lineup, as does Zach Snuffer, number 9. High bounce at midfield and a header there by Tyler Furry. Got it to Wilson. He'll play it to the outside now. Snuffer not quite going to get there first as Roberts won that race. Now chipped out front though. Tripp. He'll drop it back. And it goes out off of Cooper. A throw coming for Heritage.
Boswell did a wonderful job defending that time. He didn't allow his forward to turn. Kept what's called touch tight. He was so tight to him that he could actually touch him a little bit, but he wasn't too tight so that he could get spun around and beat.
Nick Wilson triggering it in here for Heritage, and a couple of Cooper guys both went for it, end up knocking it out of play again. Returned out to the outside and then all the way across. Pretty good eye to spot the weak side there with Joel Fiore coming after it, but couldn't quite get it. We'll get, what do we have here? It looks like a foul call against Cooper as he held him up way out there near the sideline.
Yeah, on that throw-in, we had a defender actually Joel Forey make that run in.
Here's a shot, and Vargas making a save. That was a self-preservation there, as that was a rocket right at his forehead. Just got his hand on it. It'll be a corner coming up here for Heritage.
I think that's Tyler Fury with the hit here. Yeah, and it was a left foot full volley or half volley.
And then that one just over the top.
Nice
off
header.
The corner. Stuckey coming back, or coming up. Good tall defender. Nice to be able to have that option on a corner.
Now his coach will say, you headed that like a defender. High and deep.
I'm sure their Heritage in particular, they'll kind of come into halftime feeling like, boy, you know, we had enough good chances but they've had a couple of good saves against them, but then a few like that header where they just, I'm sure, feel like we just got a little too excited and didn't hit our target.
It's an extremely hard game to score goals. The good news is they're creating opportunities.
Yeah, that's definitely true. You can live with that a lot more than if you're never creating chances.
Mm-hmm.
And especially this early in the year. I mean, sure, we're keeping score. This counts win-loss-wise, but how you're playing matters more, I think, to the coaches right now than just the result here tonight. Ball put out front and knocked down out of there, but a follow-up opportunity here for Cooper.
Boko did a nice job of staying out wide that time, and he did the little give and go and was freed up the wing.
Opportunity as this one rolls through, but not hit very strong there with the left foot by Cuiaseon. Ball played ahead here. Tyler Furry hitting after it. He's got an opportunity. Shoots and he scores! And Heritage on the board after some near misses. One of their co-captains, Tyler Furry, getting to it and able to put that one away in the 38th minute here, 39th minute.
Nice left-footed shot, low far post.
So you had Vargas leaning the other way a little bit. That's a lot of net to try and cover, and Furry that time able to find the target and puts it away. So his first goal of the year makes it 1-0 Eagles with 1:48 to go here in this first half.
Last 5 minutes of a half, who would have thought?
So a throw-in coming here for Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper got caught a little flat again that time and didn't have support for their outside fullback.
Boomed high in the air here. Hawks get control. Varhol giving it over to Ondecki, and he'll go out to the left with it now. Sion getting control. Varhol coming forward. Looked like he was going to get a good shot attempt there, and broken up again here by the Eagles. Joel Fiore. Under a minute, you can see that burst of energy late here. And here's a long shot put on goal by Matthew Lauman, and Yanero has to make a little bit of a dive there.
There's a stopper who won the ball, brought it through, and said, you know what, I'm going to take a crack.
Yep.
And he should.
And it was fairly far out and not a ton of pace on it, but it was well placed. Now an opportunity the other way. Here comes Nick Wilson. Wilson walking up the right side, shoots, and he scores! Only 19 seconds to go in the half, and Wilson adds one for Heritage. Wilson surveying the scene, looking left, and then puts it low into the far corner, much like Furry did, but on the other side.
Did a nice job of looking for his teammates. And unfortunately, when the Cooper stopper made that nice attacking run just ahead of that, they didn't cover back very well for him.
Well, it was just when I was talking about Heritage going into half being frustrated if they hadn't finished chances, and all of a sudden they finished 2 in less than 2 minutes. So we will come to halftime here with the guys in blue. HCA, Heritage Christian Academy, leading it now by a score of 2-0 on goals from Tyler Furry and Nick Wilson, a couple of their captains. We'll be back with first half highlights and then our second half of soccer here in the season opener for the Eagles and the Hawks on 12 Sports.
Osseo, Crystal, and Plymouth. Channel 12 is your local source.
Intercepted. This one looks like it could go for the touchdown.
Reed puts it away and Hopkins advances.
Hello and welcome to a new season of Sports Champ.
Channel 12, your local source.
Back here to Cooper High School and Barbara A. Lehman Stadium for boys soccer action. The Heritage Christian Academy Eagles leading Cooper 2-0 at halftime of this one. So we'll check out our first half highlights from this contest here, and actually quite a few chances in this one. Start out with one from Cooper as a pass drop back, and good shot by Clarence Ondecki, but it deflects off a defender and wide. And then an opportunity here that'll sail just wide for Ethan Peterson. It was kind of some frustrating near misses for a lot of the half for Heritage, but that'll end later on, as we'll see in a moment, as that shot deflecting wide here. And then this one after a corner kick, the initial attempt doesn't amount to much, but then watch this one bounce free to the other side, and Vargas has to make a tremendous save right there on Nick Wilson. Cooper, here's an opportunity, left-footed try. That one just mishit a little bit by Ondecki. That sails wide of the mark. And another real good chance here for Heritage. A left-footed shot was a good one from Tyler Furry, but a good save. But then Furry puts one away late. 38-12 into the first half. And a partial break, and then they weren't done yet. They get another one on a rush as Nick Wilson is in on a partial break and puts that one away with only 19 seconds to go in the half. As we look at our first half totals, Heritage 12 shots, 5 of them on net. They committed 6 fouls and had 3 corner kicks. Cooper took 8 shots, 3 of them on goal, 3 fouls and 3 corners. We will be back with our second half of soccer here in the season opener for Heritage and Cooper coming up next. The Eagles maintaining a 2-0 lead here on 12 Sports.
Behind the wheel, there is no such thing as a small distraction. A public service reminder from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. Speak out against distracted driving at decidetodrive.org.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man.
This is great. Every day should be like this.
It will be when I retire in a few years. I've been planning and saving. Did you save for me?
Well, this is unexpected.
Where'd you come from? Out of the blue, just like an illness, an emergency, or
That's enough, Mr. Unexpected.
Savings Man.
There's still time to plan. Find out how at choosetosave.org with a ballpark estimate worksheet.
I will. Thanks, Savings Man.
No, thank you.
So visit choosetosave.org today.
And welcome back to Cooper. School's not in session yet, but a nice crowd on hand here. A lot of students from both schools looks like to come out to watch this one on a great evening for soccer here. And you know, sometimes it seems a little strange that, you know, when you're playing before school started, but I think it's a great way to draw kids back to the school, and so they're not feeling like, you know, we're just showing up on that first day and we haven't been around. I think, you know, for just some of the general students, a great way to get them kind of reacquainted and meet up with their friends again.
I totally agree, and where it really comes into play is with those kids that are just coming into high school for the first time. And all of a sudden they're meeting some older players on the soccer team, and they're getting to hang out with them a little bit and getting to know the school on the inside a little bit, and they actually become part of the school culture, you know, a couple weeks ahead of time. So I agree.
Well, we saw the trainer working on Chris Vargas, who was shaken up in the first half, and he is not going to be in there to start the second half. Nick Winter is in goal for Cooper. We saw Nick come in just very briefly when Chris was injured initially. And it was the lower back that they were working on, and that he's doing the twisting the trunk exercises and everything down there. So it apparently stiffened up a little bit on him and didn't feel all that good. He actually, you know, made some good saves after that point, but apparently bothering him still quite a bit as we begin the second half. And, you know, not a bad thing to get your second goalie some work as well.
No, and I would bet that he's going to be up for the task here too.
Heritage controlling here early in the second half. Cooper looked like they were going to get out of that first half unscathed, even though they had given up probably maybe an alarming number of chances for them. But then Heritage converting on a couple of them late in that half. Hawks controlling it up the right side here, and it'll get away though from Gomez Mendez. And a throw in coming up here for Heritage.
It's a nice little run Gomez Mendez made out of the back there.
Well, Cooper fans will get a chance to see their team in action on this field quite a bit early on here. After this one, they said they've got Hibbing Friday, and then next Tuesday and Thursday they'll be at home again against St. Louis, or Park, Cottage Grove I think it is, and then Park Center. And then after that they play Spring Lake Park. So if you've got Park in your name, you're going to be on their schedule early on here. Obviously they play St. Louis Park as well, being in the North Suburban Conference with them. So, but yeah, Cooper fans don't have to do much traveling here in these first 2 weeks to get a chance to see them in action here. And obviously a nice facility here at Cooper.
Well, I can already tell that Coach Opel gave his boys a little talking to, because they definitely picked up the pressure.
Trying to play this ball all the way through the middle. Wilson getting control. Cutting it to the middle now. Wilson looking for an opportunity. Pretty well defended, so he drops it back. Tyler Ashworth trying to go back to Wilson, but nice play there by Andecki.
Cooper did a nice job of keeping the whole play outside. Keep it out of danger.
That pass a little off target, and Ashworth booms it back the other way. Engstrom working it ahead now, and broken up by Laumann. Long bounce here. And he'll play it to the outside, and able to get over there and keep it alive is Engstrom. But then they turn it over, Evan Dale. That one will skip in on one hop there and grabbed up by the keeper, Yanaro. To the outside with it now. And that one broken up. We get a throw coming here for Cooper.
Heritage looks very well organized in the back. You just kind of take a look and you can see where Cooper's players are being marked, and there's support for all of those players that are being marked.
Nice volley into the middle there, but Hogan read it and broke it up, and they'll just send it on out. Eric Gomez-Mendez gonna leave it for the keeper, Winter, but he'll knock it out. Didn't really hit that one the way he wanted to there, so we'll get a throw for Heritage. Tanner Scott directed back about 10 yards there. He was unsure exactly where that ball had gone out. Now into the middle it comes, and going to be Winter coming off his line to grab it up.
Rightly allowed to play on there.
Battle for it and knocked ahead now. Cole Suarez.
Beautiful ball.
It up the middle, and good battle for it, and that battle won by Miguel Hogan for Heritage, but then the Hawks get the ball back. Jabbed loose. It'll be a throw coming here for Heritage.
Cole Suarez just showed some really nice touches there, and that was a great little ball that he played through.
Lifted high in the air here. Gomez-Mendez only got a little bit of that one. Play starting to get a little bit more physical here early in the second half, I'm noticing there.
Yes, it is. A little more like high school soccer now. High pressure, high intensity.
Hawks looking to attack. Nice ball to the outside. Sion.
Nice little overlap.
Zarn sending it into the middle, and that cross broken up.
Heritage again, very well organized in the back though. They had numbers up in the back, that makes it tough.
Wilson getting control here. He'll chip it. Looking far side for Tyler Furry there. And he'll end up winning that ball. Not much of an angle anymore to get a shot away, but still controlling. Good battle, and he gets back to it. Here's his pass. It'll come all the way through to Wilson. A wild bicycle try there. Turn around and across. Oh, and just knocked away by Winter. Did it go over the goal line? It looks like no. It's going to be a corner kick. Gomez-Mendez jumping all over his keeper, excited with the save that Winter made. What a wild sequence here.
It's a nice header. Headed it down.
Boy, I'm sure Ethan Peterson was thinking he had his first goal right there, but now off the corner it bounces loose. And that one's sent wide of the mark. Boy, this ball couldn't have been very far from going over the line right here. There you saw the, I guess that was a good deke there. And Winter just reaching back with the right hand.
Great save by Winter.
Wadding it out of there. That was just reaction at that point. I mean, you're doing what you can to dig that ball out of there. Foul call going against Cooper here.
Nothing like even having a chance to take a bike to score a goal.
Yeah, even if the ball is 5 yards over your head.
At least you have a chance.
You know, in a strange way, I think it probably surprised the defense so much that it probably, for that split second, took their attention off the ball. And what's this guy doing flying around through the air here? It was a good one, though.
Well, it works in the video game. It might work here.
Yeah. Couple of subs coming in here for Cooper. Alex Daw, number 4. Also Cullen Varhol, who played in that first half some for them.
Yeah, putting in a couple of sophomores. It's good to get them some time.
Throw in coming up here for Cooper. They trail it 2-0 here. We're about 8.5 minutes into the second half. Heritage got 2 goals in the final 2 minutes of the first half after having some near misses and good saves against them prior to that. Long throw in, but there's Big Stuckey getting up for the header there for Heritage. Battle for it in the air here, and the Hawks end up controlling. Andecki had it, lost it. Now hammered forward there by Gomez Mendez. Gonna make that slow roll, and will be played by the keeper there.
You need to play it back into the box so we can pick it up there.
Yanero was fairly busy early. Hasn't really had a lot of work since.
Oh, they got numbers again.
Opportunity here. Two guys were in position there to go for that one. Then the follow-up shot went just wide of the mark. As Cooper had been doing a better job of staying in position, but that time things got a little scary for them again. Gomez Mendez will play that one to the outside.
In soccer vernacular, what Heritage is doing is it's called playing direct. When they get a chance to play the ball forward, they play the ball forward, and then they get numbers up in the front.
They're doing it in a pretty, solid fashion, though. Sometimes you'll see teams get really over anxious and send the ball up, and when there really isn't anything there. But in their case, they're certainly using it wisely.
And when they're playing it direct, it's not just to like a kick and run style. It's to a space where they know they have a teammate running onto it, or playing it to a teammate's feet. Just very solid soccer.
I think it's one of the challenges a little bit that Cooper has been facing too, though, is that they seem to be a lot of players moving in and out of the district and whatnot. So you got guys coming in that certainly have some skill, but they just haven't played with each other probably as much as this Heritage group has.
Yep, I would agree with that, and it takes time. The good news is it's only August.
Sent out front, Gomez Mendez breaks that up for Cooper. Back and forth through the air it goes. Scott sending that one ahead, but it's broken up. Better play that ball up the middle. A good fight for it there by both guys. Controlled there by Emmanuel Balagun.
There's some nice passing, nicely done.
They'll go toward the middle, and then the second try, it gets to the outside. Here's a shot, it bounces off a defender. Changed directions there, but goes wide. It'll be a corner coming up here, as Cooper got a pretty good opportunity out of that one. The direction change made it a tough one for the keeper, but not much opportunity for that ball going in again.
Cooper strung 3 or 4 passes together there, and it opened up the field for him. That was very nice. Nice work by the midfield.
Off the corner kick, there's Alex Daw, who had that last shot. And we'll get a foul call going here against Cooper.
Wasn't a bad corner. They isolated a player on the right at the outside of the box, near post. If you can get a touch and get it in towards the net, you got guys crashing.
Hogan sending it ahead onto the foot of Tyler Furry there. Peterson playing it to the left.
Nice change of field.
Stops, and then a crossing pass made there. It'll bounce all the way through. Tanner Tripp, nice little move there and pretty good idea, but it just didn't quite connect, and Cooper will get a goal kick out of it. As you see again there, Nick Winter has come in for the second half in goal after Chris Vargas. It looked like he got a little bit of a back injury on that save that he made earlier in the first half, and he came out at the time very briefly and then went back in for the rest of the half, but at halftime the decision was made that he would sit out for the second half here.
Heritage has a luxury in that they got these big senior horses up top. I tell you, that's a nice way to build your team.
Opportunity here up the left side now with some speed. Put out front, and it's going to be a corner kick, I believe. No, it went off the Heritage player, so we get a goal kick coming up, and a little bit injured, shaken up there for Cooper is Yamasu Roberts.
You know, taking a look at Heritage schedule too, they went out and got a game with Rochester Lords, a perennial state tournament participant from their section. And they got a game with Breck, who's always fighting for a state tournament berth against Benilde and Orono. So they're not ducking the competition when it comes to non-conference games.
And I think sometimes it's easy to forget. You just kind of see the names on the, you know, in the book or on the schedule or whatever, and you don't really realize Heritage is really a very small school to have this many good soccer players. They are, you know, not able to count on, you know, a big feeder program, obviously bringing in waves of players year after year, but this has been a very good group that's coming through right now.
Coach Laird does a really nice job with the kids too. The kids love him. He's very positive, builds the kids up, and you can see they play a really fun style of soccer. Their practices are fun. I mean, you just take a look out of there. Even if they're losing, they're still having fun.
Lower leg injury, and you wonder if it possibly could be cramps that they're dealing with Roberts out there right now. Yeah, not necessarily, though. Obviously, in recent seasons, we've seen a lot of the first week games, and whether it be soccer or football, where we're getting trainers out for cramps on the field an awful lot. And even though, as you said, this has gotten a lot better in that regard, I think it's a little bit harder on the legs still playing on this turf rather than the natural grass too.
Well, yeah, most teams in soccer that first week, they're doing 2-a-days. And if you're not watered up, it takes the gas right out of you. And I know Coach Opel, coming from his Apple Valley background, he's not afraid to run them.
So Roberts will have to come out for a little bit here. Looks like he's walking pretty well. It wouldn't be a big surprise to see him come back, but obviously going to have to sit briefly anyway. Well, kind of a mini break here, about nearly 15 minutes into the second half. And looks like we're about ready to resume. We didn't have the scheduled water breaks as in the girls' game. It was certainly not, you know, as the sun has gone down, it's definitely not what you would call hot out anymore. So Cooper possessing here, still trailing at 2-0. Couple nice passes connect there, and knocked away though. Foul call going against the Eagles.
This is actually good for both teams. Cooper's forced to force the issue a little bit, get more guys into the attack, and it's good for Heritage to learn what it's like to be under pressure in their own end. See, they're setting up the wall, the guy in the back there. Nick Wilson, he's setting up the wall. Make sure that near post is covered.
On deck, he's sending it up. Header out of there by Ethan Peterson. And controlled here by Wilson. Wilson sending it up left side.
It's a nice diagonal pass with purpose there.
And put out front, deflects in. Tyler Furry, I believe, got a piece of that ball out front, or was it a defender? Either way, it ends up in the back of the goal, so 3-0 for Heritage.
I think that might be an own goal. We'll take a look here in the replay.
Let's see if it, yeah, you're right. Definitely off of Alex Daw there, but it'll count for a goal there for Heritage. Scott, I think, will get that goal.
I think it goes in as an own goal, actually. Nice cross. Nice cross into the danger area.
So that one will bounce free and down the sideline. 3-0 lead here for Heritage Christian Academy. Drop back here to Scott. Stuckey sending it out to the outside. And that one will roll through. We'll get a throw coming up here for Cooper. And now we've got a Cooper player taking a seat there on Decky. Center referee didn't see it. And now an opportunity for a break here again. Wilson walking in, and he lost it. I think we've got a cramps for Decky. And now he's going to hobble. He takes his shoes off and hobbles. It was just before play got started again, and the near side lines person brought the flag up, but the official didn't see it, so play was already underway by that point, and he couldn't take away that breakaway chance. So it played on.
Yeah, that's something I'm sure coach will talk to him about. You don't want to be a man down.
Ball up the left side here now, and Sion controlling it here for Cooper.
It's a nice change of direction there by Cooper. They switched the field nicely.
A little bit too much pace on that one to the outside, though, and it'll be a throw for Heritage. There you go, Holguin throwing it in. Well, you mentioned before, using the term big horses, and it's true. But they've got guys who are big and fast, and obviously skilled too. So seeing that, a nice combination for Heritage. Height or size isn't everything, but it certainly doesn't hurt when you've got a little bit of size to go along with being able to really get out and run.
Well, the other thing is it's easy to find guys who want to score goals, but it's hard to find guys who are really good at it. Heritage looks like they got 3, maybe 4 players who they're pretty dang good goal scorers. They don't just want to score goals.
And that is a tough thing to find. Getting back to when I'd asked you earlier about how much, time is spent taking shots. I admittedly am pretty well a soccer novice, but I've been, over the years watching, and I feel like sometimes maybe it's neglected a little bit in terms of practice. You'll see teams that are working almost strictly on possessing the ball and short passing, and that's great. But, the name of the game still is to put goals on the board, and I think sometimes that gets a little bit overlooked.
Got to get the ball in the net. That's right. The kids who are truly goal scorers are the kids who got a bag of balls in their trunk, and they're out there before practice hitting balls around with their teammates and sitting out there about 30 yards away seeing if they can hit the crossbar, or they're out there after practice doing the same thing. You see those kids and you go, okay, we got a chance this year.
Goal kick here for Gomez Mendez for Cooper. And volleyed high in the air by Roberts. And this hit a little bit to the outside there by Cooper's Cullen Varhol.
Good stick.
Came in strong and under control and took that one away.
Very nicely done.
Cutting it back there, Cole Soare, then his pass broken up.
He's a nice player. He's the kind of player you can build your team around in the middle.
Varhol will drop it over now. Here's the shot attempt. That one hits Stuckey. Look at the battle go on out there.
Varhol does a nice job now too.
Foul call went against Cooper. Little verbal warning there, and Evandale saying, okay, everything's good. So Cooper's girls got the better of Heritage by this 3-0 score, and now the Heritage boys looking to turn the tables in this one, and up right now at a 3-0 count. That second goal right before the half, I think, was really a killer for Cooper. I mean, you know, they had done some good things in the first half, and even though probably were outplayed overall, certainly by Heritage, but you know, being down 2-0 instead of 1, I think is a big difference heading into that second half.
It does. It kind of takes the gas right out of you. But that's what you have to learn to do as a team, is you got to learn how to recover after those things. Cooper's played a much better half this second half. You're being first to a lot more balls.
Roberts controlling it here. His pass, though, broken up. Tanner Scott.
Oh, he took a nice look there.
Knocked down, but Furry will get to it. Now cutting across the middle with it to the outside. Here's Scott lining it up and sails it over the net. Got that one squared up. Hit it hard, but got under the ball a little bit here. You see he has a lot of time. Not that often you're going to have that much time, but just couldn't control it.
As Heritage was mounting their attack there, they ended up with 6 players in the attacking third of the field, that's just what you want to see as a coach. The boys are hungry, and they want to get in there.
You're glad for the getting that first game. You get under the lights. I mean, obviously as much practicing as you do, and obviously the majority of these guys play a fair amount in the summer and everything too, but just to get that first game experience here, and now, you know, obviously more so in the second half, the lights are on and you're out there, and this is what you play for, these first get those games underway.
You talk to any of the kids that play club soccer, even at the highest level of club soccer, and they'll tell you there's nothing like high school, under the lights, in front of your friends.
High bouncer here as they dig for it. Tanner Scott wins that ball for Heritage.
What
and
a beautiful
sends it
ball.
ahead. Wow, that's nice. Here comes Wilson. Defense gets back. Wilson now. Winter dives out and just got enough of it to knock it off his foot.
Nicely done.
Winter a little bit shaken up as he heads back to the goal. He was in because the starter was injured.
Good goalkeeping.
Good speed here and good hustle by Emmanuel Balogun to at least get back and force Wilson to cut that ball back. You know, initially they were beat, but you still keep running hard and you at least give your keeper a chance. A throw here for Cooper.
Varhol's another nice player. He's one of those guys you can build your team around.
Skied up over the Heritage bench. We get a throw coming here for Cooper. Oops.
Bad luck.
And that one didn't work out how they hoped, and Heritage will get a throw here. Pass taken away by Scott, and here we go again, similar to the last one, but this time broken up initially. Wilson fighting hard to get some room to maneuver with here.
Well, that was some good work back by the outside mid there, by Boku. That's what you need to see out of that outside mid.
Wilson sending it over here right side, and Sion knocks it out of play. We get a throw coming here for Heritage as Wetterstrom will trigger it back in here. Under 15 to play now in the match. 3-0 lead for Heritage Christian Academy. Volleyed high by Hogan here.
Well, that's just some nice defense there, going out there and winning that ball in midfield. Take the chance there. If you get called for a foul, it's no big deal.
And give and go to the outside. Cole Soare trying to get to it. Hogan gets there first and knocks it out. We get a throw coming here for Cooper.
Nice shield, turn.
Barhol knocked down, advantage call though. Boku looking to line it up. Warhol's a little bit shaken up after that collision. Cooper fans can't get on the official, but they're obviously, he was seeing a scoring chance possibility for them. That's why it's not whistled down. And that one sails over the net.
If you would have done me that one through, Varhol was on the, could have been on the receiving end of that one too, so.
Tripp and Snuffer waiting to come back in here for HCA. You know, you got, I don't know, call it a luxury, but with that 3-0 lead too, you can, you know, I think more comfortably substitute a little freer too if you're Heritage at this point. Not, you know, not that you stop playing or you stop doing everything that you've been doing up to this point, but you certainly have a little margin for error that you're not too worried about, you know, getting deep into the bench here.
Yep, you get a chance to get some guys a little taste of what it's like to play underneath the lights.
Battled around in the air here. Hawks finally get control. Knocked away and sent up for looking to go to Scott here. Tanner Scott jousting forward with Alex Daw. And this foul is going to go against Tanner Scott.
Right now there's a very nice team flow to what Heritage Christian is doing. They got 5 guys in the back. They've dropped one of their forwards back into the midfield. And quite frequently they're getting 9 guys behind the ball now. It's just going to make it so tough for Cooper to mount any kind of sustained attack.
Scott will be called for the push as he got into the body of Alex Daw there. I think a pretty good eye there by the official because he was trying to make it look like it was the other way, but he leaned in and initiated that contact. Perry trying to take that one away from Wilson, or excuse me, from Varhol.
Yeah, that's what you do now. You take the chance in midfield, in the middle of the field, or in your attacking end. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, it's okay. They got a long ways to go.
Nice ball to the outside here. Sion gets control. Cole Soare being pretty well marked up there, but he's dangerous.
He's a nice player. Look at that.
Ooh, and then a big collision. And looks like he took the worst of it there. Might have been knee on knee a little bit there. Looks like both guys coming in. Well, actually, there was a push from behind by the other Cooper player that kind of directed Joel Fiore into him, and I think that's what was called. Because I was wondering at first, I thought, well, I swore I kind of was getting the raw end of the call here, but it was actually his teammate pushed Joel Fiore into him.
Yeah, it looks like Fiore's pretty well built too.
And just from where he grabbed on his leg, I get the impression that it might have been a knee hitting either his upper shin or his knee. Well, Brett Inero still posting a shutout so far. Hasn't really been particularly busy in the second half, but obviously when you get, throughout a season, goalkeeping is going to become pretty important. So
yeah, Heritage has done a nice job of keeping numbers up in front of them, and
obviously in some pain as they work on that left leg.
well, Heritage has to battle through a very tough section with Prairie Seeds and Totino Grace. Plus many other teams that are very solid, so this is a good match for them.
The Eagles last year winning their first playoff game before falling in round 2. Knocked off Brooklyn Center and then were eliminated by Monticello quarterfinal round.
Yeah, Monticello's kind of an up-and-comer. They're a lot of population moving out 94 there, and Buffalo's filled up. St. Michael keeps growing. Monticello. And they've had a program for a number of years now, so they've got a nice, solid base built up.
Back into play here after the injury stoppage, and Heritage still leading it by a score of 3-0 as we go under 10 minutes to play here in the contest. It's the season opener for both of these clubs. And unable to keep that one alive there was Sion as he was looking upfield. Scott sending it ahead, but headed out of there. Came right back to him, however. And it'll be a throw for Heritage. Tanner Tripp getting it in. He'll give it for Scott. And pounded out of there with the left foot by Sion. Controlled here by Varhol out to the outside now. Sion.
Nice try at a little give and go, but it was well defended. Oh, nice and aggressive little chip there. Ran out of room, bad luck.
Yanero to grab it up here for the Eagles, and he'll send it out to midfield.
It's not a bad thing to play it back behind the defense, get them going the other direction. Just like that. That's what causes trouble for fullbacks, is having to chase balls back that way.
Get a throw or a corner kick coming here for Cooper. Or is it a throw? Yeah, it's a throw. It's one spot on the field where I can't see real well. Obviously, they could look from our crew there on the monitor, though, and that throw doesn't amount to much as it bounces on one hop to Yanero, the keeper. Under 8 minutes to play now here in this one. Couple goals in the final 2 minutes of the first half really established things for Heritage, and then they've gotten one here in the second half that actually went in off a Cooper defender. Cleared it into his own net. So here we go with another rush forward for the Hawks here. Obviously, they'd like to, at least get one. I mean, you worked pretty hard out here tonight, and you've done some, good things at times. Certainly, you'd like to Like to at least get one reward for it.
It's going to be pretty tough the way Heritage now is kind of packing it in.
And coming through the body that time was Mark Franz, so he'll be whistled for the foul. Ooh, and a collision there as Gennaro clipped the leg of the onrushing Cooper forward here, Fitzsimmons.
Good pressure by Fitzsimmons, so good aggressiveness. That's what you want to see in a forward.
Throw coming here for Heritage. And knocked out of play by Alex Daw. Bounces out again, Cooper fans. You got 3 more consecutive home games after this one. You get a chance to come out and watch your Cooper team here. Be hosting Hibbing Friday evening, and then Park, Cottage Grove next Tuesday the 27th, and Thursday the 29th they host Park Center, a team that should have a pretty good year as well. They're playing their opener tonight as well, as are many of the teams.
Well, we got a yellow card here, and then we got a chance for a set piece.
Yellow issued, looks like, to Roberts. I don't think he realized it at first. I don't really think it was that he was not wanting to, agree to it or whatever or whatnot, but I don't think he realized at first that they were headed out for him. So Sebastian Pino Peralta, number 7, reports into the game. Tanner Tripp curving it to the front and a header. That's a pretty good idea there and not too far off on the execution. Tyler Furry, the header, but it just hits off the top of the goal post.
It was an interesting set piece. You can tell that those 2 players had worked on that.
Good speed up the middle there as a Balagan got it ahead to Leroy Callan. That one is broken up, but mishit. It'll go into the Cooper bench and a throw for the Hawks. Pino Peralta throwing it in. We talked quite a bit about the guys up front for Heritage, but you get a pretty good feeling for a keeper and for a coach when you've got Riley Stuckey back there anchoring that D too.
Yeah, they've been organized all night long, very nicely organized. And it hasn't been particularly easy. Cooper's forwards are making some good, thoughtful runs.
Pass broken up and deflecting back out toward midfield. Couple guys really going after it. And foul call's going to go against Heritage as Tanner Tripp. They kind of locked arms and went for that one. Nice move there in traffic by Barhall.
God, I like him.
Boy, as the game has gone on, he's really become more and more of a factor too.
As soon as he got taken down, he got a lot better.
Pino Peralta cutting it to the middle. And knocked out of there by Hogan, but will they be able to keep it alive? They do for the moment anyway, and then out of play, it'll be a throw coming for Heritage. Good hustle by Cooper to get out and contest. Here's a spot too where, as a coach, if you're Coach Opel, you're kind of keeping an eye on for who's out there still competing just as hard as they were in the first half. Yeah, you're down 3-0, too late that you're probably going to have a chance to win, but for the rest of my season, I want guys who are really getting out and getting after it even when they're down.
You bet. Never quit, never give in. You work right to the last whistle. And all these kids have.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's been no quitting anybody out there.
And for Heritage, too, I think the fact that they do have so much experience, they've done a good job of playing with the lead, too. Not taking chances, but yet not totally dropping back and, not continuing to play their style of soccer.
Correct.
Obviously, it's more fun to play with a lead, but you have to learn that part of it a little bit too.
Yeah, when they've been working it out, they've still been very thoughtful in how they're targeting their forwards with balls that are to their feet or to a space behind the fullbacks. So it's a very good thinking team for the first game of the season.
Hawks get control again. Fitzsimmons dropping it back. Pino Peralta.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Nice ball ahead. Barhol spinning away. Just overrun a little bit there.
Cooper's going to want to watch this over and over again, the way they've been.
A good sequence for them, but ultimately ending in a turnover. Gomez Mendez getting up to clear that one. And this call is going to go against the Hawks there. A little frustration, just tug on the defender. You can see with, like you're mentioning, Heritage dropping back so much now. There's just too many waves of players to get through.
Yeah, there's a lot to get through back there, and they're well schooled in how to play defense. They're supporting each other. They're not stabbing in at the ball.
Be a throw here for Heritage as we tick down toward a minute remaining here in tonight's game. Snuffer will throw it in here for Heritage. And this whistle will go against the Hawks, and free kick coming up here for Heritage as we hear under a minute to go.
Well, this game has been a good learning experience for both clubs. I think both the coaching staffs have learned a lot about their teams.
And Winter drops that one as he tried to make the save, so it'll be a corner kick upcoming here.
It's one thing to play teams in a scrimmage. It's another thing to get out there underneath the lights and run them for 40 minutes.
And a great setup, and I talked earlier about being able to have a nice target player like Stuckey get up there.
Yeah.
Just in case you were going to miss him. He's got the headband and all, so you really can't miss him. And just directed that one over the top.
That's a good observation on your part to see him coming out of the back. He's a weapon from back there.
And the buzzer will sound, ending tonight's contest here. So Heritage Christian Academy picking up a nice win. You can see why they're feeling like they're going to have a pretty solid club this year.
Oh yeah, they're geared up for a good season. They've got a good, tough schedule, and they're senior loaded. They're ready.
Yeah, got experience and some talent as well. And Cooper did some good things tonight. They've got a little bit to work on, obviously, too, but they've got some good chances to be right back in action, as we said, on their home field. We'll be back to wrap things up here in just a moment. Your final in the boys' game, Heritage 3, Cooper nothing. We'll be right back.
National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winnicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
Welcome back here to Cooper. A successful start to the season for the visitors here tonight. Heritage Christian Academy winning it by a score of 3-0, and guys who scored their first couple goals joining us, starting with Tyler Furry. And you guys excited with the way you played here in the season opener tonight? Got a lot of chances and everything?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we always wanted to come out in the first game and try to we come out with a lot of energy, and I feel like we did that today.
You guys had so many near misses for a while there. It looked like you were going to go into halftime still at 0-0, but how big was it to all of a sudden start converting those?
I mean, it was huge. I mean, after we got that first one, we came back, and the other team got a little bit down, and we just came back with the second one right away. So at halftime, we told our team not let up and keep going, and then we eventually got the third, maybe a little bit lucky, but we got it, and we eventually got the job done. So.
You guys have got a real veteran team this year, and are you feeling good about the possibilities for this group this year?
Yeah, I mean, Prairie Seeds is out of our section, so that was kind of the top dog. So now we're looking to take over the top spot, maybe win the section, maybe go to state tournament. So those are our goals. So, yeah.
All right, good way to get the season started. Thanks for joining us here.
Yep.
And you guys certainly had a great performance here this evening. And what did you feel best about that you saw from your team out here tonight?
Going into the season, we had a lot of uncertainties about the defense. We switched a lot of stuff around with formation and stuff like that. But tonight, it was definitely a huge step going into the game. Just knowing that defensively, we could stop anything that they put into us, and we stopped a lot of good chances. And they really didn't have a lot of goal scoring opportunities. So that was great.
Of course, the biggest fixture in your program, Coach Chris Laird, not able to be here tonight. And how different was it without him on the sideline with you guys?
You know, Chris is a great coach, and he really gets us going in times of need. But with 4 seniors and our 4 captains and how many seniors we have, it took a lot to step up. But I think we did a really good job of that, and we led the team to a nice victory, and feeling really good going into the season.
Yeah, after a couple weeks of practice, it's got to be a great feeling just to get out here on game night, be under the lights, and doing it for real, isn't it?
Yeah. Our training camp was probably one of the hardest ones we've had throughout my entire high school career, but we definitely took it by the horns, and we pushed through it, and I feel like after the result tonight, we really deserved that. We worked really hard during the off season, and it definitely showed in the game tonight, and hopefully throughout the season.
All right, thanks so much for joining us, Nick. Great job here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, 3-0 win for Heritage Christian. So the Cooper girls get the victory over Heritage, 3-0. The boys turn the tables. They take a 3-0 win. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's game as our season opening night here on 12 Sports. For Brad Carlson and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Once again, your final in the boys game, Heritage Christian 3 and Cooper 0.